Alright guys, I want to show you today the Logitech G522 gaming headset. So that's this guy right here. So if you are in the market for a mid-tier gaming headset, especially one with a really good mic, be sure to stick around. I'm going to go through all the features to see if this may be the right one for you. So this is compatible with mostly all gaming systems except Xbox. Now it is marketed towards PC, Mac, PS5. Doesn't mention Switch, but it is actually compatible with Switch. Of course, you have the wireless dongle that you can insert with the USB. It does come with the USB-A to USB-C cable as well. And of course, the third way is through Bluetooth. So here's an example of me doing this with the Switch just to show you that it definitely works with that system. It also works with the Switch too, no problem. So just keep in mind, of course, that the dongle is USB-A and the other end of this is USB-A as well. So you'll just need to make sure you get an adapter. It does come in black and white, so this is the black version. It has the RGB lighting as well. Compared to the previous model, it is now at the side, so it's going to prevent that from causing any glare issues like it was before. And the battery life is also really good. It gets 90 hours if the RGB is turned off. With it on, it can go up to 40. All right, so let's just talk about the physical features. So kind of starting from the top, as you can see, there is this cloth-like strap that's going to stretch to fit your head. There are also two notches on the sides there, so you can make a more permanent adjustment by moving it up or down there. And this is a nice breathable and stretchable fabric, so that's going to be good for longer gaming sessions. As with any good headphone, you can adjust the cups and move it up and down like so, on both sides, of course. Speaking of the cups or the earphones here, it's got a nice foam material. Again, that's going to be good for breathability compared to, say, maybe a leather cup. It's shaped like your ear, so it's going to fit that real nice. And there is a little bit of wiggle room here. As you can see, you can kind of move it up and down a little bit and to the sides as well. The physical buttons are all on the side of the left ear, so you have a switch to turn it on real easily. You just slide that up and down. Right below that is the connectivity button or the mode button. You can switch that from Bluetooth to the dongle/USB cable, and you'll be able to tell which one was which by the LED color on the side there. Right below the Bluetooth button is the volume dial, and then right below that is the mute button. And the really nice thing about this model is that there is a red LED light that will light up. That way, out of the corner of your eye, you'll be able to tell whether you are muted or not. And then of course, there's the USB-C for connection and charging. Last but certainly not least, you have the microphone. As you can see here, you can actually just remove it if you don't need it, but you can just easily plug it back in. It's very bendable, and that's going to be for adjusting it to your liking. And as mentioned before, this is the main feature that's really made this a popular product. So let's test it out now. So you can see here, I've been talking through this lavalier mic this whole time. So let's compare the sound with this guy. All right, now you're hearing my voice through this mic right here. So as you can see, very great quality. So if you are looking into streaming, you won't need a separate mic for this. You can just use this guy right here, which is pretty cool. All right, guys, so that was the mic. Now moving on to the headphone quality itself. Now this is a closed back headphone, so that's going to be good for getting that in your head sound if that's what you prefer. It's also good for blocking out, the outside noise. And if you are in a quiet environment, it's better for that since there will be no leakage from whatever you're listening to. As far as the headphone quality, so that's going to really depend on how you EQ this thing. And the great thing is that it does come with the software. If you're not familiar with Logitech, it comes with the Logitech G HUB, where you can really customize it to sound the way that you want. So let's take a look into that now. All right, guys, so let's take a look at the desktop app and everything that you can do on there. By the way, I just want to say that everything that you're going to hear while I'm doing this desktop app is being recorded through the G52's mic. So again, just another demonstration of how good that quality is. All right, guys, so first you'll go ahead and install the desktop app, and then you'll probably have to do a firmware update, which takes about 10 minutes. But once you're done with that, you'll open up the app and you'll be greeted by this page. So as you can see, the four main things that you can do will be on the left column here. So let's start with headphones. So this is going to be how you can EQ what's coming through your phones. You'll see here curated presets. So a lot of people will, of course, want that bass boost. So it makes sense that that's going to be your first choice. But you can go to default mode, which is just going to be that straight line. And then you'll have the option to choose these two gaming presets as well. This one being for FPS. So good for hearing, footsteps and grenade clicks and stuff like that. It's already curated to make that possible for you. And then just general media here, watching movies and whatnot. Of course, you can create your own just by clicking on custom presets, or rather by clicking on this plus button here. And then as you can see here, you can modify and do whatever you'd like to do. And then, of course, you can save and delete presets up here or rename them. Down here is for your microphone EQing. So same idea, you're gonna have some presets that you can choose from right here. Here you can EQ, but also there's some effects based changes you can make here as well, such as noise reduction, putting on a gate or a compressor, and then your more EQ effects here like de-essing, depopping, and putting on a high pass filter. And then here is the sampler section. And so this is where you can kind of assign sound effects, you know, vocal playback noises, stuff like that, expressions to a hotkey. And that way you can have that play as you're playing the game. And then here is the LIGHTSYNC section. Same idea. You're going to have some presets here that you can choose from. You can modify those presets, such as changing the primary or their secondary color and the brightness. And then freestyle, this is where you can kind of like choose different sections and assign colors to them. So as you can see, I just clicked on here, change the color to red. I can click down here, change it to yellow, for example. And then animations here is essentially the most customizable option, because if you click on adding new animation, as you can see here, you kind of have like this little playback that you can, you know, customize. So you can change the different colors to play at these different sections. You can add those sections here. You can even change the transition, how they transition from one color to another using these guys. And then change, you know, the speed at which they do all of that, and the kind of the style in the way they do them. Pretty customizable for sure if that's what you're looking for, and then you can save it as a preset. All right, but that is the software. Let's take a look at what you can do with the phone as well. All right, guys, and here's just a quick look at the app, because it's definitely worth downloading. That way you don't have to be switching the screens on your laptop or gaming device. So if you click into the headset, you'll be able to adjust the headphones, for example. You can choose from the default presets, or you can go ahead and customize your custom presets. So if you click into custom, for example, it'll take you to the EQ screen, and you can change things up right there on the fly. So same idea with the microphones. You can switch up the presets there or adjust your custom preset that you're currently on. And you can also change up the lighting here. So click into LIGHTSYNC, and there you go. And you can go ahead and change the presets on the fly there as well as being able to click into them to change the colors or the brightness. All right, guys, so that was the Logitech 522 Lightspeed. It's gonna work with almost all of your devices except Xbox. You can connect it in 3 different ways, and it's got that great mic quality and the ability to really customize the headphones. So definitely check this thing out today.